Tonight, live from an unnamed location, it's the 60s, starring Tex Madison and the Madmen Scooby-Doo gang.
Say what?
I said it, and I meant it.
Okay, well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have a fantastic show tonight. We've got a guy named Max Crook. We've got something called the Big Little Show Band. We've got something called a Musitron, and it all adds up to the story of...
Runaway!
Runaway. I'm Tex Madison, and welcome to the 60s, all right? 1, 2, 3, 4! Yes, the 60s, today featuring Del Shannon's Runaway, and kind of also featuring its remarkable solo.
And Scooby-Doo?
There is no Scooby-Doo in this episode. Aww. Don't awe me. Look, I love Scooby-Doo as much as the next guy, but he had not been born when this song came out, and Shaggy and the gang had not hit puberty, and they hadn't bought the Mystery Machine and began traveling the land like Johnny Appleseeds of solving mysteries.
But the song is a mystery. The singer doesn't know where his baby is in the lyrics.
And I'm going to tell you all about the song. Just give me time. So, the song, the artist, and the year. Runaway, Del Shannon, 1961. Sounds simple, but there's a good story behind it. And it all starts with a band called Charlie Johnson and the Big Little Show Band in Battle Creek, Michigan. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, Tex, what doesn't start like that? And you're right, but here's the thing. There was no Charlie Johnson. There was a Charlie Westover playing guitar and singing, and there was a Max Crook, which is totally a Scooby-Doo name. Yes, I realize that. Max Crook playing keyboards. Now, this group with these guys would win a recording contract in 1960, right? But their recording session for Big Top Records in New York was a failure. But there are a couple of remarkable things about that period of time for the band. For one thing, Charlie Westover began calling himself Del Shannon, and Max Crook became Maximilian Crook. Now, you might think that sounds like some kind of inventor, and you'd actually be right. For Maximilian Crook played an electric keyboard that he sort of invented called a Musitron. And here to tell us about the Musitron is our electric keyboard history correspondent, Little Miss Lonely. Are you there, Little Miss Lonely?
I am indeed. Great to be here.
And where exactly is here?
Versailles, you know, in France?
Yeah, I know. That was unexpected. May I ask why?
Because the Musitron is a variant of the claviolin, and the claviolin was invented right here in Versailles.
I'm willing to bet that nobody out there knew that.
But I did.
That you did. So tell us, how did this come about?
The claviolin is sort of a forerunner to an analog synthesizer and was invented by Constant Martin, right here in Versailles in 1947. It was a keyboard, usually 3 octaves, and an amplifier and speaker unit. It had switches that changed the tone and added vibrato and other effects.
That's really cool, and actually, especially for 1947.
I know. It also used a vacuum tube oscillator to produce a sound wave that was almost square-shaped and could then be filtered. Also, the amplifier produced a fair amount of distortion, and that was intentional, which was also very cool for 1947.
Oh yeah, but what does this have to do with Maximilian Crook and the Musitron, which, by the way, is not a bad band name?
Well, Tex, why don't you take a guess?
Okay, well, if I had to make a wild guess, I'd say that in 1959, Maximilian Crook built his Musitron out of a clavioline that he heavily enhanced with new resistors, TV tubes, and even parts of reel-to-reel tape machines, but was unable to patent the Musitron because the parts were all pretty much patented already.
One hell of a guess there, Tex. Right on the money.
And now, a word from our sponsors. I love mysteries.
I hate mysteries.
I am entirely ambivalent about mysteries.
Well, don't speak too soon, because here's my patented Mysterytron 2000.
Is it an instrument?
Is it a bar?
Ha ha! Using space-age technology, the Mysterytron 2000 is an instrument and a bar.
You can play it like an instrument?
You can drink it like a bar?
Yes and yes. The only real mystery is, how have you lived without it until now?
We don't know.
I'm playing a rockin' tune.
We're enjoying some sort of a beverage.
The Mysterytron 2000, because nothing goes together better than music and alcohol.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. The newly rechristened Del Shannon and Maximilian Crook rewrote and then re-recorded an earlier song that they had written, Little Runaway, now called simply Runaway, which featured that legendary solo by Crook's homemade instrument. This happened on January 21st, 1961 at Bell Sound Studios and was produced by Harry Balk. Now, I know nothing about Harry Balk, so I'm going to call John Harvey Kellogg, inventor of cornflakes, who ran a sanitarium in Battle Creek, Michigan back in the day, right? 5, 2, 3, 1, 4. It's ringing. Hello, John Harvey Kellogg.
Speaking.
Okay. So can you tell me anything about the producer Harry Balk?
Sure. Balk ran talent contests in the 50s and even discovered Little Willie John, who recorded the original version of the classic hit Fever.
Great song.
Oh yeah, it's a classic. Like I said.
And of course he produced Del Shannon.
He did indeed, but he did something else further down the line.
And what might that be?
He was the guy who signed Rodriguez, you know, the guy that decades later became super big in South Africa and they made the movie Searching for Sugar Man about.
I do know that singer, but I did not know that fact. And on that happy note, I'll say thank you, not John Harvey Kellogg. Runaway by Del Shannon was released in February, and after Del appeared on Dick Clark's American Bandstand in April, it shot to the #1 position on the Billboard charts, where it remained for 4 weeks. At one point that spring, a reported 80,000 copies per day were selling. 2 months later, the song topped the UK charts, and ever since has remained an all-time classic. Funny enough, though, there used to be contests where people would try to guess what instrument played the solo. Nobody ever guessed it was the monophonic Musitron. Okay, time's up for now, folks. That is all from me.
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's not. No. Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Johnny L. of the Madman Band, but that's not important. No. What is important is what happened to Max Crook.
It is?
It is.
Okay.
Soon after Runaway, Maximilian Crook had an instrumental hit called The Snake in Argentina, and then hits Greyhound and The Twisting Ghost in Canada. And then he moved to California to install burglar alarms in the late 60s.
You're making this shit up.
I'm not making this up, it's the truth.
Twisting Ghost, installing burglar alarms. That is the most Scooby-Doo thing ever. You know what we need? We need some crazy mystery-solving kids doing the twist!
I'm so glad we solved yet another mystery.
Me too. And whoever thought the villain would be Mr. Johnson from the amusement park?
Ladies and gentlemen, our time is really up for today, but I'd like to thank Little Miss Lonely, Dr. Johnny L., the Madmen Band, not John Harvey Kellogg, and of course our sponsor, Dr. L's Mysterytron 2000, and our producers, Porter and Thorell Syndrome, Tinstream, and Megapixel. If there is anything else worth knowing about Runaway that we have not covered for some reason, or if there's anything else on your 60s mind, tell us in the comments. You can listen to the Madmen Band's version of Runaway right here, and you can listen to Del Shannon's classic right here. Do not forget to subscribe, and remember, you are always welcome back to the 60s. See you soon. 1, 2, 3, 4!